What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be checking out Defend the Rook. This is a game that I've been waiting for a while, and it's actually kind of a unique experience as far as turn-based strategy games go. It's got some minor RPG and roguelike elements in there, and I think you guys are really gonna dig it. This seems to be a game that has a lot of depth. Everything is really customizable. You can take your units and your traps and your defenses in all kinds of different directions, so that really no two runs are gonna kind of be the same. The basic core premise of the game is that you have a rook, and you have to defend it indefinitely, as far as I can tell, for as long as you possibly can in order to hold back the greenskin hordes. You have a team of heroes that are going to assist with that. Along the way, you're going to get currency, you're going to get level ups, you're going to get traps, you're going to get all kinds of, towers and things like that they're going to help on out. And so what starts out as a very simple game rapidly becomes a very complicated game as you get further and further on into it. And I think there's definitely a sort of Slay the Spire, min-max FTL type player that's going to really enjoy where this game is going and what it's working on. So over the next 25 to 30 minutes, I'm going to play the game and give you some of my thoughts as we go through it. Hopefully you enjoy that and it's helpful to you when you're appraising whether or not you want to make a purchase on this title. You can look down below in the description for a link to the game. You will also find a link to my associated social media, things like Discord, which is the central hub for my entire community where I'd love to have you. I ping that whenever I go live on Twitch to usually play games like this more in depth if I feel like the initial 30 minutes was not enough to make a call. But that spiel on out of the way, like I do every single day, let's dive on in and waste no further time. This is where the game starts out from. You've got different upgrades. As you get further on into the game, you're going to get gems. That's going to allow you to upgrade your characters, your contraptions, your spells that you have available to you along the way. You get to choose your loadout over here, just in case you wanted to do that. Although we don't really have that many options right now because it is a fresh playthrough. We also have what Ascension we're on, so apparently there's going to be kind of like New Game Plus type ideas where it just gets harder and harder and harder. You can mess with your loadouts over on this side just in case you wanted to swap out, barricades for, hero banners, or if you wanted to swap out the warrior for like a samurai, you can do that. There's lots and lots of options that have all gone into this title. This game is currently not in early access, so this game is effectively done aside from any post-release updates that they're going to be putting out and more content drops, which are usually kind of dependent on how successful the game is. And so for those of you in the audience that are sitting around being like, I don't know if I can do another early access title, I get it, I'm right there with you, but this is not one of them. This game is actually fully feature complete as of right now, as of release day, which is actually kind of a unicorn in today's modern gaming landscape. Let's dive on in. And so we can go to the desert. All right, doesn't look like we can jump into the mountains or the volcanic peaks or anything else like that, so let's do the desert. It is led by the Golden Army Commander. Disciplined in their devotion to the Queen, they are given the finest utilities of warfare, a true army. Their weaknesses are that they are overwhelming, but a lone soldier is vulnerable. The Queen has betrayed you. You defeated her opposition and amassed a gem supply. The Queen's golden army serves as devout protectors. Deal with them and the Queen will be vulnerable. Correct your mistake, Magister. Put an end to the conquest that you helped create. Oh, okay, so in the tutorial, we were fighting back a greenskin horde under the employ of the Queen because all of her forces were diverted to the south. So I guess she used that opportunity to betray me. We don't really have any money, which is notated over here. We don't really have any experience, so we're just going to start the battle and just kind of see where things go here. Magister, the apologies were getting tiresome. I'm glad to be free of the ruse. You have outlived your usefulness to me. I will have your head for this. My heroes will gladly strike you down for disgracing their legacy. Please, with the gems, my forces are more powerful than you could possibly imagine. It wouldn't be the first time I've brought down a kingdom. They will see reason or they will fall with you, your grace. Okay, so here we are. We've got our characters. Let's take a look and see what we can accomplish here. The Rook, you have to defend this at all costs. When the Rook dies, you die. And so it's usually a really good idea to keep the Rook out of the way of anything that shoots at the Rook, can harm the Rook, or deal damage to the Rook. It does look like we can fire from right here at him, so I'll strip his armor real fast. As of right now, we do have a couple of things we can play around with. We've got a stone shield, we've got a freeze trap, we've got an arcane tower. Okay, I'll probably put in my arcane tower maybe right there. That sounds good. We'll put that in on that side. It's going to go ahead and auto-attack things for medium damage that are inside of its range. Obviously, it's a tower, so it's not that great at bipedal, quadrupedal, monopedal movement, but That's life. Sometimes it doesn't work out like that. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to start working on the ranged guy right there, because he's going to try and shoot over the top of me in order to get after my forces. We'll go ahead and attack that guy right there, but I think that's pretty much the duration of my turn. I could have set up a barricade, but given the relative lack of ranged units that I have for right now, I'm just going to leave people right where they're at. He went after the tower, which is actually fairly fortuitous. I don't mind that at all. Let's go ahead and start out right here. There we go. And then we'll move our warrior over to here and take a swing. One thing that I have noticed is I would like that the idle animations for your character be a little bit more developed. I'd like to see them kind of like breathing and kind of, you know, swaying back and forth in position in like a ready attack position, and then they turn to stone after they attack the same way that they already do to denote that they've already used up their turn. I think that'd be a really, really cool feature, and I think that would look really, really great. I'm going to move the rook over to here just to keep it watched out. After we finish this, there is no transition, and there is no kind of break in the middle of combat. Basically, what will happen is we kill off this wave, and it will ping where more enemies are coming from, and we'll have like one turn to kind of reposition and wheel around in order to kind of negate that. But for the most part, there aren't going to be a whole lot of intermissions in the way that this game functions. Go ahead and fire some damage at him, I guess. He smacked my warrior. That's okay. Your health is concurrent. You do not heal in between rounds unless you use special features to do it. So that's something to keep in mind as well as you play the game. After the battle has ended and we've defeated all the enemies, we get to pick an upgrade for each of our characters that is permanent and develops them in a different direction. So you can have like your rogue become an all-out dual-wielding melee hellforce, or you can have him focus on traps and kind of replenishing the various installations and stuff you put on the map. For the sorceress, you can make her into a frontline combatant. You can make her into a ranged nuker. You can make her do all kinds of stuff with the warrior. You can make him regen when he attacks stuff. You can focus on making him like more durable and tanky. Just kind of depends what you want to do. The warrior gains +4 temporary power if he doesn't move on his turn. Okay, so that's +4 to damage. This guy, he gains 2 power for every trap that's on the field and armed. We've got spell shield over here, and so she will gain temporary armor whenever she attacks. I feel like that's probably going to be the most useful over time and the least likely for me to forget that it's in play. We'll go ahead and have him wait out his turn right there. We do kind of want to have the rook move to kind of be in cohesion with the rest of our team so that they can effectively protect it. I'm going to end my turn right there, and yeah, it looks like we've got a fairly serious wave incoming here. I'm going to have him move to there and then wait. I'm going to have him move down to right here. I'm going to have the rogue move similarly. I do think that it's a really, really good idea for us to maybe put down some barricades. So if I put a barricade right there, and I put a barricade right there, I might be overusing some of my resources in the early game just due to a lack of experience with the game. But I'd rather not take any chances when it comes to defending my rook. I think I'm happy with where she's at right now. Let's wait for the enemy to get here. Okay, these barrels, they taunt. So basically, enemies cannot pass through them, and then on top of that, they will taunt any enemy that comes near them on their turn. So we've got a little bit of damage off right there. Little bit of damage off right there, a little bit further damage off right there. They've got cannons on this side. I have no clue what the cannons do. They probably fire in a straight line would be my guess. So I'm going to kind of clear the way and just sort of hope that I'm right about that assumption. I think putting in a cannon tower right there that's got long range, low damage is going to be nice for whittling on enemies. We do have an emerald tower that attacks everyone in its range for high damage, but it's got very, very short range, so I might wait until I've got the perfect setup in order to play that. As far as this guy's concerned, I'm going to put down a frost trap right there just to trap him up, and then we'll end our turn because I think he's probably, yeah, he's going to step to right there. He did precisely what I thought he was going to do. A little bit of damage out right there from the cannon tower. These guys have lined up so that these two entire aisles are going to be under attack. I'm going to move the mage over to here and start working on those just to eliminate that annoyance. The warrior is safe for right now. The rogue, unfortunately, does not really have a play. So we'll have him wait. I'm going to move the rook up into safety. Looks like I can attack right there for a little bit more damage. Got him down to like 26, so that feels all right. My crate has unfortunately been knocked out of the way, which sucketh. I would rather not have that be a thing. Towers are working on everybody over here. He's got a little bit of a fight left to go on this side. You move. Oh, she's trapped. Okay. Well, then let's play around with our options here. I'm going to move you over to here. We'll attack right there to finish him off. The Rook may come under attack if I don't move him, so moving him seems like a smart idea. We can move back down over to here and deal 10 damage right there, and then Spell Shield goes up, and we should be okay for the next little chunk, I think. Yeah, so the cannons have missed. Unfortunately, my wizard is taking some damage right there. The good news is I can alleviate our really, really nasty problem that we have at the moment. She can only attack from right there. Is that trap? Okay. I can move across my own traps. I'm all right with that. We need to get all of the wagons circled over here. And then the Rook needs to move up to here and just continue doing what little damage we can. We lost one of our towers, which I'm not a massive fan of. The Rook has been effectively isolated right now, but the Cavalry has arrived, so we should be able to kind of put a little bit more DPS on these dudes, or DPT since it's turn-based. Our cannon tower is gone, and they now have some vague confusion happening here. Ah, she can't get him from right there. Okay. Well, we'll just have her... I can roll back her turn and attack from right there. That does seem like a decent idea. We've got another map cleared, and so we can get... When adjacent enemy gets destroyed, he gets 5 temporary power, so he'll get 5 more damage on his swing. When the rogue attacks an elite or boss, they deal an additional 10 damage and gain 5 temporary armor. That's really good. Lightning shield, -4 armor when hit cast chain lightning. Your chain lightning now deals 4 damage to enemies. Okay, let's go with Elite Slayer. That seems like it's going to be niche in its applications, but you know what? I want to see what happens when the elites show up. So our turn has ended. Let's pull everybody back towards the center that we can, just to give us a little bit of room to wheel and deal, since we don't know what we're going to be up against just yet. Okay, we've got an archer. Wish that we did not have an archer, but an archer we have. There's that. I don't know what that does. Oh, a golden barrager. Oh, it's an elite, though, so that's pretty fun. We may be able to do something about that with Senor Rogue. What can that guy do? He can get up and adjacent to me. That's not great. Okay, so the Rook needs to be over there. Yeah, the golden barrager. Oh, he can actually hit me. Oh, we like vaporize anybody that touches the Rook? That's kind of cool. I sort of dig that. Yeah, you move in right there and start working on the barrager. You guys kind of handle outstanding issues on this side. I'm going to pull you back towards the center. Wow, Warrior's really getting chewed on right now. Does that thing have to aim, or does it always, like, fire in a particular direction? Oh, I think it can hit, like, everywhere. Okay. Not great. Yeah, super not great. Can I stun this thing somehow? We've got a stone shield. Yeah, give him another +4 armor real fast to keep him alive. And then we can stun this guy right here. I think that's a really, really good idea. We need some time to get some damage off. So there's 20 right there. We're not going to be able to... Actually, we've got him on this turn. We're okay. Oh, he's still attacked. I thought he was stunned. Well, color me vexed. But there's another fight down. I need to restore health very, very badly, so we'll heal the warrior on that one. It looks like everybody's got a heal option. The game's kind of being like, bro, what are you doing right now? Why are you playing so poorly? And I'm like, because I'm me, dude. I can't help it. Like, it's my job to, like, show off the game and hope that you guys enjoy it and eventually become good. But as for hoping that I will become good at said game, I don't know, dude. I've been playing video games since, like, 1990. and I've still not become good at them. There are some games that I'm really good at. Darkest Dungeon, for example. I'm like really, really good at Darkest Dungeon. But on the opposite end, there are also things that I am not so great at. And as it turns out, those things are the majority of things. And so it's kind of a vicious cycle to dwell inside of, I'll be honest with you. I don't know what's spawning in any of these areas. But I'm going to put in the AoE trap right there. We should probably start using some resources just due to the fact that, like, we're kind of hanging on by a thread right now, but I like how rapid fire and vicious the game is. Remove a block tile, replace it with a trap that deals 3 damage, cannot be used on an occupied tile. Oh, okay, so I can destroy the little rocks and stuff that are in the way too. So we got more cannons. Yeah, those were pretty fun last time. Let's decide what we want to do here. Interdimensional Thief. Okay. I feel like this guy is controlled because in a perfect world, he's going to step on that trap right there. And then I'm just going to, like, laugh at his face and be like, haha, you stepped on my trap. But, like, for now, let's kind of circle the wagons down this way. Actually, where can he move to? Yeah, we got to circle the wagons down here. All right. The only downside here is that my guys are kind of tripping over each other. Okay. So those 2 lanes are pretty much toasted. I need you to be down here. There's a kill. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Hold on. I do like that you can roll back all of your abilities. That's a really nice accessibility thing, where, like, if you make a move that you're not particularly fond of, you can just roll it back. You just right-click, and you can undo the move real fast. It sort of limits, like, I think there's nothing more frustrating than, like, just kind of absent-mindedly, like, sneezing and clicking on accident and, like, ruining a run or whatever. And I do like... Oh, I already moved him? Uh-oh. He's about to get smacked. I was going to say, I think my rook's going to have a bad time. However, I do find it interesting that the rook... instantly kills anything it touches. I kind of actually really, really like that, because in certain circumstances, it might be the right play to kind of let your rook get hit in order to eliminate an enemy that represents sort of like a tactical threat, I guess. Like, you don't want to always do it. After all, the name of the game is called Defend the Rook, not Sacrifice the Rook for menial gains. But... and actually, I think my rook is right in between their gunshots, so we should be okay. Okay. You seem to be alright. I think our positioning's fine. I don't know how we're going to last 2 more waves. I think that using my barricades in the early onset fight was a mistake. Alright, you come back to the rook with your time. We can heal somebody. If the rogue does not move on a turn, he gets 8 power and 2 move on his next turn. The sorceress gets temporary power and temporary range at the start of their next turn when they take armor damage. You know, I tend to use every character every turn, so, like, the stationary turns on melee characters do not feel that attractive to me. Then again, the heal feels like I'm just throwing away a plausible bonus. And so, like, you fall back with the rook. You move over to here and just be with the rogue. Hug the rogue. Love the rogue. Rub the rogue. Alright, wave 5, it looks like we've got a fairly considerable throwdown happening over here. That's fine, we can set up right there. And it's going to take them a turn or 2 to get over here, I should think. And so I think kind of setting up sort of a little wily right here might work out okay. Oh, that's a lot of archers. That is a shocking number of archers. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's not great, and the archers actually have considerable move, too. Huh. Okay. Well, I suppose I accept that whatever happens, happens here. Warrior, you can run him down. Rogue, you can run him down. They're still going to be able to move and hit me here. There's just not much I can do about that. The Rook is just so... Listen, my Castle Rocky guy, he's just so limited on where he can move based to his tiny allocation of movement points that, like, he's unwieldy. It's just he's not good at the old escape room tactics. Not something he excels at. I assume that the interdimensional thief probably drops a bunch of loot or something if we run her down. But for the moment, I feel like I would rather focus. I'm gonna move over to here. Blast right there. How far can he move? Far enough. Yeah. Far enough to be problematic. He hits for 15, so I don't really think this armor is going to help altogether that much. But if I'm careful, I might be able to get him to survive a round. Can move the Rook kind of to right there. Okay. Well, he didn't go after who I thought he was going to go after. However, this still represents a problem. Because there's no real attacks of opportunity or anything. So it's super plausible that if I move the Rogue in behind this guy to smack him, he'll just turn around and wreck my Rogue. Oh well. You gotta do what you gotta do. He rolls the dice, he takes your chances. And that allowed us to verify that the AI does indeed focus on characters that they can confirm a kill on over everybody else. Warrior's down on the next turn, which is just, like, awful. This is just turning into a straight slugfest. We'll see if she goes... Oh, he's got a ranged attack, too. Good to know, good to know. Ow. We're in bad shape right now. We're in a bit of a situation. Yeah, I guess res the warrior. That's cool, that's cool, that's cool. I'm not upset, you're upset. Alright, let's go ahead and we'll wait right here. And we will take her and circle the wagons over here. In the turn. Oh, it's so many archers, dude. It's so many archers in a cannon. Oh, no. And that guy's got 234 health. Oh, this is how it ends. Where is the horn that is blowing? Where is the horse and the rider? Listen, I'm just going to make poor decisions because we're not walking this one off anyways, all right? We were going to lose on that turn regardless of what we did. The Magister retreats after a long battle to rest and recuperate. Did we unlock anything? We indeed did not unlock anything, so it actually seems like progression is tied specifically to boss kills. I wish that I could have showed you, like, so if you make it to the 5th round, you bank all your XP and stuff. And so anyways, if you make it to the 5th round and you win, you can spend your money and your XP, and every single thing in this game, from traps to characters to heroes, all have talent trees and stuff, like beefy talent trees. And so anyways, wish I could have shown you that, but that's the way it goes. Azaz the Demon Lord. Okay. Man, yeah, dude, this place is level 1, so, like, maybe this'll be easier. I recognize that floating castle, Magister. To what do I owe this reunion? Squashing your pitiful invasion sounded like a respectable use of my powers, Azaz. Tell me, what are you after now? Gems, my feeble conjurer. The kingdom is ripe with gemstones, and I will claim their power. Typical. Can't allow that, of course. Letting you pass would sully my reputation. Yeah, you should know by now I am unending, and you will learn to fear me, Magister. I will force your eyes open. Okay, so this time I'm not going to spend nearly as much of my resources in the early phase of the game. How far do these guys move? Not that far, in all honesty. So, like, I can kind of just, like, hang out and gas them out. Okay. He's going to move up to there, but he still really has no move, so why worry myself? I'm going to use this as an opportunity to move up, kill him with the Rook. And it looks like our first upgrade is if you have armor, deal 5 damage back to attackers. If you have no armor, you gain power. Okay, if the rogue didn't move at the end of the turn, they gain stealth, untargetable by enemies, can be hit by splash damage. Not bad. 5 temporary armor when she destroys an enemy. I feel balanced stance is probably the best one, since you use him for tanking anyways, and he auto-generates his own armor. I feel the best about it. We'll wait right there, and you be over here. We'll wait right there. They moved in behind us, but behind. Luckily, see, I left that formation on purpose for just such an occasion. Because, you know, I'm a smart guy like that. Alright, orcs, goblins, gremlins, critters. Nothing too scary, I don't think. 3 attack is not something that I'm horrifically terrified of. We're going to focus on killing stuff first and just kind of limiting the amount of enemies that are on the field. Can't really score a kill over there, and he has no armor. I move the rook up to there, it could attack to there, but I don't know if it's worth it. I'm gonna do it just because I'm crazy like that. But that's our turn. 3 damage to the rogue's face. Alright, Achilles cut. Enemies hit by the warrior have less movement this turn. Does not work on bosses. -1 move, +8 armor. Yep, take that. I'm not even going to look at, like, the other stuff. This guy is so unbearably squishy that, like, using him to deal with any crisis that he can't instantaneously finish off or one-shot, I think is just kind of a headache, in all honesty. Alright, so we have a solid position over here. So we have a couple of little archers and things. How far do these guys move? Not that far, actually. Okay. Yeah, everybody move to your side and do what you're going to do. We have that spectral thief right there. I want to see what happens when I kill it. Oh, you get 25 gold, exactly like I said. It drops fat loot with a maximum pH at the front. The archers I'm a little concerned about. He can get to my rook from right there, so we'll push into the corner. This opens him up to an archery attack, but he's got 8 armor, and they only do 3 damage. So I think if I can minimize the amount of enemies, I'll be okay. I think we're doing pretty solidly right now. Like, I feel better about this run than I did about the last one. It also seems considerably easier than the last run. Alright, so strip down. -2 armor, +1 move, restore 5 health. When a low-tier spell is cast, the sorceress gains armor and power. Probably just take the heal, dude. I know that that's probably not going to be meta. Like, I'm guaranteeing the meta of this game is going to be, like, not taking heals as much as possible and always buffing your characters up with, like, features. But, okay. In my opinion, we fight towards this back corner over here. Wolves, huh? You got mad wolves for me. Well, there's 1 wolf eliminated. It's a lot of wolves. Blessing. Heal a hero for 3 health. Boulder Toss. Deal 8 damage in a 1 damage radius to an enemy. I could actually effectively clear out one of these sides right there, which I actually don't think is the worst idea, just to take some pressure off. Yeah, that feels acceptable. So he does 8 damage. That'll get through the armor. How far can you move? Not far enough. Okay. Clear you. Drag you back over here to soak hits for the Rook. That worked exactly as I expected it to. Well, he took damage. That was not what I wanted, but... Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future is ours to see. Que sera, sera. This seems a lot easier than the last run, man. Like, maybe you do the hard run first, and then it kind of resets you. If you didn't attack this turn, gain 6 temporary armor. If you didn't move this turn, get 6 temporary armor. Okay. I like all 3 of these, actually. This is one of those odd cases where all 3 options are kind of popping to me. I think Stone Form is a good idea, though, because we tend to put him in isolated areas to sort of hold a line. And so I'm of the opinion that that's probably good. We'll have you guys over here. I need you to come back over this way now that you have that sweet-ass ability. You come over here to deal with the smaller threats. Yeah, his Stone Form is already up, so he should have much more armor than he currently has. Doesn't Stone Form, if you didn't attack this turn, gain that. If you didn't move this turn, gain more. Okay. This guy's got some weird little ballista thing. We've got like a full-size chonk boy orc over here. So I'm going to suggest we move over to there. How far can this guy move? Not that far, but it looks like he's got a pretty good range. Okay. To move or not to move? 'Tis the question, whether 'tis nobler to stomp. I mean, honestly, his armor will hold if I just come in and kill that guy real fast. If these guys all glomp onto him, they still don't have the actual damage to finish him off. We've got 2 armor as well, so I can actually kind of sneak you back this way somewhat safely. God, I love that reflective damage, dude. That reflective damage was the best decision that I ever made in the history of decisions that I have ever made. There's a little bit of damage out right there. He doesn't have armor. He deals 12 damage, which is not ideal. I do have some healing, though, that's independent. I can't kill this guy on this turn no matter what I do. It does not please me. This is one of those cases where I needed my warrior over here. But he's got to hit somebody, so he might as well hit somebody that has armor. Yeah, I mean, my mage doesn't really have armor, so... Warrior's having a bad time moving around the backfield right now. Alright, so there's a kill. There's a kill. There's a kill. Good offense. You get temporary power for every square that you move. Not bad. +2 move, 1 range, and agile. Oof. Movement is kind of king. I'm going to go with that one, though. I need him to hit a little bit harder. Having him hit a little bit more truck-like sounds good to me. Alright, the final wave. Alright, so we've got some kind of frosty boy over here. That seems like a job opportunity for the warrior. So there's 14 damage. We do have a number of problems that need to be dealt with on this side. Realistically, I think our best clear looks something like that. With the rogue placed right there to defend. We'll deal and see where all the wolves go. And then after we decide where all the wolves go, will determine what our next strategy is. Surprisingly, one of the wolves actually went after somebody I didn't expect. Okay, well, we can solve this problem right here, right now, which will allow us to adapt more effectively to situations over on this side. That's basically the... Oh, she can't attack point blank. Okay. Next turn, then. Next turn. Someday. Can't attack from right there. Warrior's still in position, but he didn't move, so he should get the benefit of extra armor, which means that he should be able to tank this guy no problem. The real question is whether or not the AI will be smart enough to realize it can go after my rook. Oh, you're gaining attack power. Look at you over here getting all big and fat and strong. Oh, there's rocks in the way on that side. I guess we'll go this way then. I actually probably should have done that last turn to clinch the killing blow, but sometimes things don't go the way that you want. And there's our kill. So we've made it through our first battle. Very, very nice. We can get damage radius by 1, so now he actually does an AoE, which is pretty good, actually. Stab everyone. That's the kind of ability I can get behind. Let's go with blasting strikes, I guess. I'm not sure if the prevailing meta is going to be to make like one superhero and put everything on them, or to spread it around a little bit. These three, why do they feel familiar? You may have encountered them when they were still alive, another place and time, which reminds me, you don't belong here, do you, Azaz? Goodbye, demon. Coward, you should have at least killed me with your own hands. Very nice. That was shockingly easier than the last run. Okay, so I guess what happens is this takes place right after the tutorial, so you're supposed to lose that run to kind of set the stage for the storyline, would be my guess. But yeah, here's the level ups. Everybody has a skill tree. If you wanted to go to the shop, you can upgrade the traps that you've brought on your run from all of these skill trees over here. I cut this video a little bit longer so that you could see that. If you take a look at the options, this game is actually fairly customizable. They've got showable HP bars that you can put on anything, multiple spell casting, so you can just re-click as much as you want without having to re-click. Lots of quality of life things inside of here. You can get rid of the camera shake, which is great for people that disagree with stuff like that. As far as graphical options go, pretty limited, but, you know, like... It's not that graphical of a game, so like how many graphical options could you need? Audio mixer, pretty much the standard fare stuff. Advanced, you can reset your game progress, and then it's got a glossary just in case you wanted to thumb through and figure out the various mechanics and how things work. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today we're playing Defend the Rook, which is a very, very good strategy game. I will see you all later. Thank you for stopping on in. That's all that I got for you for now, and I'll be back with something hot and fresh off the indie skillet tomorrow. Bye, everybody.